Did I do that tat myself? No, it's not done either. That's the problem. I got to get it finished. And the artist who did it was at a convention, is traveling, not located anywhere near Minnesota. So I either have to meet up with the artist at another convention, or I have to go to their hometown, which is not at a convention, or I have to bring them back to Minnesota, or I have to wait till July when they'll be back in Minnesota. So one of those options. But I'll get it done at some point. Not a big deal. Did I get a discount around the shoulder? Yeah, it was actually a cut rate. He did the around the shoulder really quickly. I mean, it's like the rest of the tattoo took a long time. Around the shoulder is done in like 3 minutes. Jesus, don't you need to spend a longer time there? He's like, no, it's done. Barely put the tattoo gun down. No, come on, you got it's hours. Nah, bro. It was immediately done. I didn't even have to put the tattoo gun on your skin. It just was there. But anyway, it was it's good. Once it's finished, I'm anxious to see. Tattoos are cool in a weird way. They're like a little nerve-wracking, but also awesome. You never know how they're actually going to look. Especially like some artists, especially at conventions, they will stencil. Thing, and so you go at a tattoo convention. They don't always have time to do original art, depending on the artist. They don't always have time to do fresh original art, custom stuff. So bring a bunch of stencils. You buy a stencil. All they do is they put it on a transfer, slap it on your body, hammer it out in a couple hours. Tattoos are really neat in one way. You never know how they're going to turn out until they're actually on your skin. So like you can see, even you can see the stencil on paper, and they can put the transfer on and trace it. You can imagine it's going to be pretty similar, but even that, it's not the same. Like you can see how they're going to transfer it on there, but if they do any shading or coloring, it's it's going to look different. If it's all original work, you have no idea. Like they might even create a stencil, right? Like they'll draw one, put it on a transfer, and put it on your skin so they can go. One of the guys who's done a couple tattoos for Lady Rackets, he just freehands with Sharpie right on the skin and then tattoos it. He's fucking amazing. That dude's not only is he a fantastic artist, he does very specific areas of women's bodies. He does along the hip and leg and side. And he just has an eye for how it should flow on that area. He does almost exclusively that. It's kind of like he's got a really good grip. He's going to get women who are shapely into his thing and just tattoo right on their ass. Beautiful. But he is able to, he'll freehand the art right on there, he'll get kind of a vision, freehand it, create something new, and then just tattoo it. And it's amazing how fast it is. Other tattoo artists don't work the same way. Someone said, how do tattoos at conventions work? I mean, the same way they work at a tattoo shop, except it's immediate. Like you walk up, like, this is what I want. Can you do it? Or you pick from their prefab stuff, and they say, here's the appointment time. Come in. It's going to take this many hours, and then they just go for it. Sometimes they have time for them. Sometimes they don't. If they're going to create something original that's really complex, they may not have time to do it at the convention, or they may say it's going to take like all day, one of the days, and they'll book you out. And that's fine too. But yeah, it all depends on the artist. You're not sure you want something on your body forever, so I keep not getting one. I get it. It's also not that big of a deal in some ways. It really depends where you get it and what it is. I do recommend people be very, you got two ways to go about it. You either be very conscious and selective about your tattoos, or you just get inked all the fuck over. And some people do that and really like it. But it's odd because it's like it's a big deal, and then you get it and you're like, it's not that big of a deal. Most days you don't think it's there. Let chat choose? No. I would never do that. I'm not a person who will get ink all over. If I was, if you're going to do a full sleeve or like a leg sleeve, you could let chat choose something and then you can go around it. I forget I have tattoos most of the time till I take my shirt off and look in a mirror, which is Okay, I remember I have tattoos all the time because I take my shirt off and just stare in the mirror for most of my day. Guys, I've been lying to you. I keep saying I'm really busy. My schedule's all cramped. That's not true. I live alone in a trailer, and all I do is just stare at my own body in the mirror. That's it. But like, you just mostly forget that they exist most of the time. Other people notice them way more than you do because you get used to it. But it's fine. I like them. I didn't know that I would. I got my first one 20 years ago. I got my second one last year. And I got a third. And I have 3 more to get for sure. But I'm not opposed to getting more. Do whatever you want. That's the thing. Look, so when you walk around a tattoo convention, or when I do, I see a bunch of amazing art that I could never put on my body. Like, no way. When I do that, it's like really cool, like in-depth Grim Reaper that takes up like your whole arm or your well, for me it'd have to be on a leg, but for a normal sized man, it would be on an arm. But like super in-depth, like coming out of there. I'm like, fuck, that's cool. I could never have a goddamn Grim Reaper with like a ripped open section of skin, like coming out of my blood. It's awesome, but I can never do it. Other people will rock it. At this tattoo convention, there's a chick with these like swords tattooed across her like eyebrow and then below her eye. They looked great. They were super fucking cool. And then I was like, but I could like, you won't get me with a face tattoo. That's weird. But they can do it. It's a cool thing to me. I like tattoos because it's your own expression on this very sacred canvas. And I understand if people don't want them, don't like them, cool. That's your sacred canvas. Don't do it. Sorry if you answered this before. What tat has to do with Lady R? I assume one is about her. That's this one. It's us. It's a couple embracing. There's a heart there. I'm going to get another one. I actually have 2 more that represent us, but that I'll get eventually. Girl came into the gas station and asked if I wanted to see her new tattoo. I said, sure, and she flashed me because it was on her left boob. Just a tiny star. Best tattoo I've ever seen. There are benefits. There are benefits to tattoos on other people. That's what I do. I actually just go around. I'm like, hey, do you want to see my new tattoo? And they're like, yeah. And then I pull down my pants and I pull up my shirt. And they're like, why'd you pull down your pants? I'm like, because I wanted to. And they're like, oh, thank you. It's courteous of you. I don't know. It's a thing. Some people like it. Some people don't. I happen to like it. I think it's a cool creative expression people can do. But I completely understand why people would never want one. At the same time, I don't care what people do to their body, though.